Hi, my name's Ben Lackey. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the coolest things Couchbase does on Azure, and that's scaling using VM scale sets. If you have any questions after watching the video, feel free to drop me a line on email or Twitter. Okay, so let's get started. First off, I'm going to flip over to a web browser, and this is open to the Azure portal. Here I have a cluster I deployed in a previous video, this Ben CLI. So I'm going to drill into this resource group, and you can see here it has a couple different things. A network security group, firewall rules effectively, a VNet that all these things live in, and then two VM scale sets. One of these has our Couchbase server nodes, the other has our sync gateway nodes. So I'm going to click on server here, and we see a bunch of different things. If I click on instances, I can see this VM scale set has 3 instances, and they're named server 012. I can also flip over to the Couchbase console for this cluster, and similarly I see there are 3 servers running here. And just to verify there's no sleight of hand going on, you can see the server names here, which match up to the server names in the portal. So yeah, if we want to scale up the cluster, it's probably ridiculously easy. We click on scaling here, and now there's a slider bar. We're not using auto scaling because auto scaling you set up rules and you can end up in these feedback loops for databases that's problematic. Auto scaling is really good for more stateless things. But if I want to scale up, all I do is move the slider, and I could scale way up, or I could scale a little bit up. How about we do 5? So I'm going to set it at 5, and I hit save. And now it says it's updating the auto scale configuration. And one thing we can do is we can click over here on instances, and let me hit refresh. And hey, look at that. There are 2 more instances that it's in the process of bringing up. Those guys aren't quite there yet. So at this point, I'm going to pause the recording while we wait a few minutes for these things to come up. Okay, so we're back. I just hit refresh in the portal, and you can see my instances now all show their status is running, including our 2 new guys. So let's flip over to the console here, and oh, looks like this is updated as well. Let's hit refresh here, and we can see a few nodes up and running. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like one's pending rebalance, so that didn't go through for some reason. Okay, so we hit rebalance there, and now our cluster is showing 5 nodes up and running. So that was it to scale up. That was literally everything we needed to do. Log into the Azure portal, move a slider, hit save, wait a few minutes, and then we needed to run a rebalance at the end, which sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't. So that handles scaling up. Now let's look at scaling down. So let's go back here to the portal, and let's click on scaling again. And once again, you see our slider. And if I wanted to scale way down, I could drag it down to 0 or 1. There's a potential when scaling down more than 1 node at a time for data loss. So if you are scaling down, what you probably want to do is scale, in this case, from 5 down to 4 and hit save. And that's going to delete 1 node. It's not going to notify Couchbase about that. So we are going to have to perform some post-scale steps, but no big deal. So click on instances, and let's click refresh again. And you can see it's deleting server 4. So let's go back here to the console, And sure enough, server 4 has been marked as down. So if we want to get rid of that in the Couchbase cluster, we need to fail over, remove it, and then wait a few minutes for that to process. So that's like this. So yeah, that's it. That's scaling a cluster up and down in Azure using VM scale sets, entirely using the scaling slider. It's really cool. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line and happy to help out. Thanks so much for watching.